Heidi, based on the story by Joanna Speary, adapted by Donald Kasen, read by the Peter Pan Players.
High in the Swiss Alps was a little village called Dorfli. It perched halfway up the mighty Alm Mountain. One sunny June day, Heidi and her Aunt Diet were climbing the steep, rocky path that led from Dorfli up the mountain to where Heidi's grandfather, the Alm Uncle, lived. "You aren't taking the child to stay with the Alm Uncle?" the villagers exclaimed to Diet.
"I must,"
Diet answered.
"Heidi has no parents, and I can't take care of her any longer. Let her grandfather manage for a while."
The villagers looked with pity at little Heidi. They knew her grandfather lived alone high on the Alm Mountain, and they were afraid of him. He had heavy gray eyebrows and a bushy beard. If he spoke at all, his voice was gruff. Poor little Heidi. Heidi stumbled along clumsily behind Aunt Diet. Her face was hot and red, and no wonder. In spite of the warm June sun, she was wearing 3 dresses, one over the other, a big red shawl, and heavy shoes and socks. She carried her straw hat. All the clothes that Heidi owned were on her back. As Heidi and her aunt climbed up the steep path, they were joined at a rickety little hut by Peter, the goat herd, and his flock of goats. Heidi noticed how easily the barefoot boy scrambled uphill. Without a word, she took off her shoes and socks and dresses and shawl. Then, in her bare feet and underclothes, she jumped and climbed after the goats as nimbly as any of them. When they finally reached the Alm Uncle's hut, he was sitting outside, looking down over the valley. "Well," he asked gruffly, "what does this mean?" Aunt Diet explained how he would have to keep Heidi now while she took a job in the city of Frankfurt. Then, fearing the angry look in the old man's eye, she said a quick goodbye and went back down the mountain. Heidi darted around, admiring the wide view of the valley and listening to the wind in the 3 tall fir trees behind the house.
"Where shall I sleep, grandfather?"
Heidi asked at last. The grandfather took her into the hut.
"Sleep wherever you like,"
he said. Heidi saw a little ladder going up to the hayloft. Up there, in the sweet-smelling hay, she made her bed. Through a round window, she could look far down into the valley below.
"This is a lovely place to sleep,"
she called down.
"I know all about it,"
the grandfather called back in a gruff voice. But underneath his bushy gray brows, his eyes twinkled.
"This child is not lacking in brains,"
he said to himself.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?